What is going on, guys? It's your boy Az. We are back here. We're going to be running the Scorpion Breaker with 510 mods on node number 2 here. Just using it as more of a teaching points here, and I will kind of keep everything at normal speed here and kind of showcase how we sort of kind of get it done here, while taking more of a slow approach, so you guys are kind of aware what's going on here with this particular section. Now, you always want to open up with the special here on multiple man just to kind of get a ping on him from his doppelgangers. And what's important here is, obviously, I don't think anybody else is going to argue with me there. Storm opening with her ultimate is always the best move because we throw the couple stuns. And then, you would just want to target, focus, whatever, on the summons. And now for this particular one, you also want to make sure that Jubilee saves her stun so that she has some AoE later on. And what I do here is I try to target on the multiple man and his clone so that we can kind of get some speed, plus also triggering him to clone again. And those are kind of the first couple opening moves that you're going to have to keep mimicking here and seeing where multiple man drops his clones, because obviously you always want his clones closer to him as well so that you can kind of get some double dip action. But it's not always going to work out, and that's fine. You just want to keep targeting some. Now, what's important here is the first target we should be taking care of on the board is Hank. Reason being is if you leave Hank alone and you start taking out some of those other characters, they're just going to get their health topped off. Very similar to when we had the Surfer Breaker with him topping off Odin's health. So very, very annoying. So again, we target and we focus on multiple man, and this attack's going to miss because he's blinded. But Angel's still going to do the attack here so he can spawn. And then this is important now because as we're playing through this, you also want to keep an eye on the turn meter of the other characters, right? You want to make sure that nobody is straying too far off. And if they're getting a bit close, then you've got some attacks here as well. Now, what I'm doing here now is I'm watching and I'm seeing how many turns I have prior to applying some bleeds on Hank, because the secret here, guys, is depending on how many mods you're playing with and depending on what type of sections you are going with here, the number of bleeds is important, because for my particular mod, if he drops below 25% health, he's going to get all his negatives flipped. So this is the reason why bleeds play a very important role here. Now, if you don't have that mod on where it has the flip on the negatives on the positives, I think that's the 100 point mod right below the serpent one, then you don't have to worry about that strategy. But that's just kind of my approach. And again, as we are as we landed the bleeds on Hank, now we're kind of fully aware, okay, he's going to bleed out, that's fine. We're still going to maintain the focus, which is targeting multiple man and getting some spawns on the board. And that's kind of it. Like, that's the strategy, guys. We're trying to dish away damage and also try to chip away at their health as well. And you'll see here, like, it's important that even if your characters are going to miss their attacks, always make sure they're hitting multiple man so that you can get some clones on the board. Because once you get a whole bunch of them, you can clear it, and it's going to give you and Hank just died there. So he just bled right out, which is exactly what we wanted. So now what we can start focusing on is some of the other characters, right? What I like to do is I like to go for Apocalypse right after I go for Hank. Again, same strategy, apply a couple of bleeds onto them, making sure we do some chip damage as well, and also getting some multiple man, spawns as well if we can, or clear them off. But very, very straightforward. And Jubilee here is also nice because she can also blind. Okay, so now that we've kind of trickled down some of the characters, the secret to the second wave is the one that's hard. You want to make sure that multiple man is still alive when the second wave drops. If the second wave drops and he's not alive, it's going to make it so much more harder. And I had to jump to this one here because otherwise it's just a very lengthy video to watch the entire process of me trickling down and taking down the other characters. But the timing of it is very important here. This wave will drop when there's 10 enemies or less. So you want to make sure that multiple man and, whoever else is on the board, whoever survived, right? Either it's, Polaris, or if it's some of the other characters. You want to make sure that multiple man is the only one that comes out, because you want him to survive so that you can do some damage. And then this helps as well because we have the nasty Black Knight in her way, right? So this is the reason why we have Jubilee as a skirmisher as well. Her skirm is going to rip off the taunt, and as you guys saw there, you guys didn't see it in my previous gameplay, but because the characters drop below 25% health, then that's where it triggers the flip on the positives. And hey, we're not worried. We got lots of spawns here, and now that we've cleared some of these nasty taunts here, thanks to the skirms from Jubilee, now we can start getting some work in, right? Now we can start throwing the special in, get some blinds on across as well. And again, this strategy is only going to work if you're doing the 500 plus mods and you have the specific ones that I took. And I'll show you guys which ones it is again at the end. But it is quite a lengthy battle here. So this is why I wanted to skip to it so you guys can kind of see it. And yeah, again, just taking care of Emma Frost. You want to take care of her first, because if you don't take care of her, she's going to cleanse everything and it's just going to make such a pain in the arse. So again, she flips our positives. This is why we have to kill her off. And then, yeah, now we've got Black Knight here. We want to blind Sabretooth, because if Sabretooth takes one turn, it's game over for us. And actually, this one was a close call as well here. You guys will see at the end here. It's very, very strategic. You have to make sure everything goes smoothly the first round. But once you control that first wave and you get this one to drop, and if multiple mans on this wave, you pretty much, I wouldn't say you're guaranteed the victory, but it's pretty darn hard to lose just because you have so much speed bar, right? But again, it's not, obviously you got to play it right. And again, we're going to save the stun here. We have a stun. We don't need to use it. We're going to save the stun here. It's important you save Jubilee's stun, because if you don't have her stun later on when Omega Red's not stunned, he's going to absolutely shred your entire team apart here. And you guys will see that. You guys will see how much damage he does actually once he's not stunned here. The only reason why he's not hurting us right now is because he's stunned thanks to Storm. So that's the reason there. And I don't even think I played this perfectly. I was just testing around, trying things. And of course as well, I don't usually know when I'm recording, or maybe this is the run that I'll be keeping as footage. And yeah, and of course as well, like I said, you have to be patient with it as well. But obviously lots of different factors here when you're involving characters that can just flip their buffs. So very, very dangerous characters indeed. But yeah, we've got most of these characters now controlled, and now we're just trying to take care of some of the cleanup guys before we take out Sabretooth. Sabretooth's going to be last just because he's so good. We'll throw the stun back on so that he can't do anything. So this is why we kept that stun. And then you'll see here, Omega Red, even though he's stunned, he's so strong. He just, I don't know what happened. I think he just cleanses it or something. Or maybe it's because of that buff flip. But yeah, you'll see here, very, very dangerous indeed. We're just trying our best here to take care of him before he destroys our entire team. So this is where, again, having Wolverine, having that double bleed action helps out lots. Thank goodness Sabretooth was blinded. Otherwise, he would just kill our team. And then, like I said, we're getting scared here because we need to take care of Sabretooth. So yeah, we try to get the blind back on him, but unfortunately, Jubilee is blinded. And then Quicksilver, of course, does his thing here, and he's starting to be a pain in the arse for us. So we'll throw the all here from Storm. This is going to reapply the stuns. Thank goodness, because like I said, you need to have that stun on Omega Red. If you don't, it's just not going to work. And unfortunately, my Jubilee is blinded. So again, we're going to see if we can control the Sabretooth as well, because it isn't just about Omega Red. You also got to be careful of Quicksilver as well here. Quicksilver is also very dangerous if you leave him alone. So yeah, we're still trying our best to take care of Sabretooth and also Omega Red here. And yeah, just not enough damage, unfortunately, and lots of misses, obviously, just because our characters have that blinded by power. So yeah, it is kind of the way it goes, but that's a strategy component. And then once you take care of that Omega Red, then it gets a bit easier. Then we don't have to freak out and worry so much, because he is very, very dangerous in this particular node. And then from that point on, we're just controlling and blinding, and then that's kind of it. That's kind of it for this particular section. Hopefully, hopefully makes sense, and hopefully if you guys are stuck with node number 2, at least if you're trying to push for higher mods, this is kind of the team that I used here, and you guys will see here my battery's kind of getting low here. But it is a very, very tough section. But like I said, if you can make it so that multiple man lives and you can get them into the second wave, you're not going to have too many issues with it. And if you want to see the full gameplay of it, I do believe I do have some of it from a previous video, like I said already. You can check the playlist. And like I said, still a very difficult section if you guys want to push for the 500 mods. And hopefully you guys are able to get through it as well here. Yep, I just skipped it. So there you guys have it. Done. we lost. We did lose somebody, but that's fine. We don't care because we're not doing no 10 with this team. And yeah, that is it, guys. Hopefully helps you guys out here if you guys are looking to do 500 plus mods on this particular team. And yeah, it does. It's definitely for sure challenging. So again, with that particular node, we were running Arch Nemesis Sabretooth, Blinded by Power, Hold'em, Indestructible Mind, Arch Nemesis Carnage, Arch Nemesis Green Goblin, Make It Count, Fear the Serpent, and Get Ready. So that's how that's the mods at least, and that's the ones we used here for that particular section. And hopefully helps you guys out here if you guys are planning to gun for some higher mods for a higher leaderboard spot. Other than that, I think that's all I got for this one. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.